So I already told you Matilda Djerf would apologize, that she would have to atone for creating an abusive bullying culture in her workplace, Djerf Avenue. What we didn't know was what kind of apology we were going to get, and we got that today. Why does any of this matter? Well, half of you are nosy, like me, and some of you, also like me, are very interested in women who choose to go after something that they want, whether that's money, power, a business, land, whatever. In her case, to the tune of $35 additional million to whatever trust fund she started out in life with. And what does it mean when people use us, our stories about diversity and inclusion, to make those $1 million businesses? And what happens when that's all a scam? There's a lot in that that is worth looking at. In case you didn't watch the other videos, the backdrop is Matilda herself was accused by 11, 12 plus 10 employees who went on record with a Swedish trusted publication, and they detailed all the ways she bullied them, harassed them, demeaned them, and humiliated them. It was classist. It was definitely in some ways bigoted in that she made fun of the fatter models. She made fun of if people were too skinny, if people were too fat, all of that's in quotations, that sort of thing. People couldn't use the toilet. You can look it up. What was curious was that she didn't outright deny the allegations, right? They were answered by her team and then by herself as like, well, no, there were some health issues with sharing toilets. There were, we don't see her in all of those claims. If you didn't do any of that, if none of this is true to your character, none of this is true to your business, you can stand on all 10 toes and go, that's not us. We deny all the allegations. Come look at our businesses. Come, we'll do an open journalist inquiry. You can come right on in. You'll quickly find that it's all lies and it'll fall apart. And then what you do when you address the public is you don't use AI in your comments, which is what is seemed to be happening. You don't say, in case I hurt people, if I hurt people. No, you just say, we didn't do it. We don't know what these people are talking about. This is really difficult as a female founder to go through these kind of allegations when it is not true and we feel very attacked and, singled out. She can't say that because it's not true. The character doesn't match the brand. It doesn't match the universe that she created for all of us to purchase into. So what do we go with? There's two things happening here. Many of you went and I saw it within 3 minutes of it coming out. You saw the stories post where she speaks to the camera directly with, curiously, beautifully, chose not to light her face up, so it looked very informal. It looked like she was just at home. The hair was semi-pulled up. Brilliant political choice right there. She looks like she's not dolled up too much. She doesn't look like she's performing. She just looks like she grabbed her phone and wants to talk to you directly. And what does she say? She talks about people she may have hurt, people she may have let down. She doesn't say, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry for the culture I created. I'm sorry for the experience I put people through. No. She talks to people as if like, hey, if anyone got hurt, if there were any miscommunications, basically, that's like the subtext. I'm sorry. That's so sad. So let's get to the why you would take that route. So first off, you're going to have in your camp of followers people who, they don't want to believe it, right? They don't want to believe the allegations because it will really mess with their head. They love the brand, they love you, they've bought into the story you've told them. So they are willing to take any scrap, any sign of humanity or niceness, and they're going to run all the way home with it. So when they hear, if I did hurt someone's feelings, I'm so sorry, boom, they're already sold. They believe it. Is this apology for the people she actually hurt? Is this apology for the type of followers who have put their hard-earned money into buying and supporting this brand for letting them down and basically lying to them and betraying the very ideals that people came on board for in the first place? No, because that kind of apology would require owning what you did, saying you did it, and saying you are sorry for the person you are who did that and that you are determined to change. We don't hear any of that in the apology. What we do get is, I'm sorry that things are bad. I'm sorry I may have hurt you, and I need to learn about leadership. And there is bad leadership in the company, and as a first-time business owner, basically, what am I supposed to do? Alex, is that harsh? You have a detailed list of actions you took that people have said that can back up. The journalism stands on it. Everybody stands on it. And you are not owning it. You're not claiming it. You're not saying you're sorry you did it. You're saying you're sorry if anyone feels bad. My sister said something funny. She said, we must have totally different internet experiences because I have no idea who that girl is. And while we both went to school with the Matildas of the world, that obviously this doesn't come up on everybody's radar. Who really at the end of the day cares? I care in the sense, and I will have beef with this, in the sense that there will always be people who take the goodwill of others who are truly trying to put their money and their time and their support for a woman-led business, for an inclusive business, for a brand that is for everybody, that says, listen, we're going to go up against the typical fashion industry and the way it treats and spits out certain kinds of women. And to realize that that was just borrowed lingo, that all this goodness, all this, the appearance, the veneer of polite goodness is just used to get your money. It will always be frustrating. It will always be infuriating to me. I don't understand why so many people would come to our school or different places where the mission was truly about serving other people, living well, living properly in community, and just looking at all of those people as potential marks to take advantage of. It will always annoy me. And the worst part is Matilda has, up until this point in her life, never had to account for how she treats other people. She's never had, nobody, her parents, friends, nobody has at any point asked her about her character clearly. Because you don't get here because of bad leadership. You don't get here just because you made a bad business call. You get here because this is who you are. This is what you do in these circumstances. Power and money, they don't make you something else. They just magnify whatever you already had, and they make whatever you already had worse, or what you can, succumb to those temptations in a more destructive way. And that's all I'll say on that for today. Also, we are migrating over to Instagram. Same handle.